to today's show. We are the next episode of Unlocked with Tracy Wilson, and I'm going to be your host for the next 30 minutes. In today's show, we are going to be exploring how you can innovate a market and how you actually validate your idea. So if you're looking ways for, to grow something, to maybe innovate in your business, or you want to start something new, today's show is going to be really helpful for you because I'm going to go through 10 different ways that you can innovate in a market and then how you can actually validate your idea. So before I get started, I've got a little bit of housekeeping. So firstly, I want to know that you guys can hear me and you can see me okay. I've got a new setup today, new camera, and a new mic setup. So I just want to make sure that, I'm not talking and you guys are totally not hearing me, because I've had that happen before. So help me out. Let me know. Can you actually hear me? Let me know in the chat comments. Right now, we are streaming across a number of platforms. So we're here inside of the Success Secrets group. We're also streaming on YouTube and in some other Facebook groups. So if you're with me today and you're not inside of the Smart Success group, the Success Secrets group for business, family, and life, you want to get here. Well, can't jumbling my words today. So you want to get inside of our group. Go to Facebook, look us up, get inside the group so that you can make sure you stay up to date with everything new that's going on to help you thrive in your business, your family, and also in your life. Like I said, today's show is going to be talking about how to innovate in a market, how to validate your idea. I've had lots of questions about this. And in fact, since I've been doing the show, I've had lots of people sort of come to me and say, Trace, can you do a show on such and such? Or I've been asking people, hey, coming to our channel, what sort of things might you like us to talk about? So I've had loads and loads of ideas. So if you guys want me to speak on a particular topic, or any one of the other hosts that we have on our show inside of our channel right now, Vicky Helm, or soon to come Scott Stevens, you want us to talk about anything, let us know inside of the group so we can make sure that we actually speak about those things and we can bring to you the things that you want to actually know about. Now, as always, we have a show sponsor. Now, today's show sponsor, I think you guys are going to be a little bit happy about this. So if you are looking to innovate, you want to start a new business, this is going to be up your alley. And I have got some really special things to share with you. Last week, we gave away some Lulu Beauty products. This week, I'm going to give away something a little bit special that fits right in line with innovation and market validation. So hang around. I'm not going to share who they are just yet. You're going to have to stick with me so that you can learn who they are and also how you can get your hands on some of their amazing products. So let's go. One of the things that I suppose the reason I wanted to talk about this is because in my experience, since I left my corporate life and I started out in entrepreneurship, one of the things that I've realized I've become pretty good at is innovation. I'm an ideas person, possibly like you. You might be somebody who's got lots of ideas, and I know how to sort of look at things and go, gee, what's going on with that? I could make that better, faster, stronger, whatever the case may be. And it's given me this unique ability to be able to look at things and then innovate. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do and some of the ways that you can go away, look at some markets and come up with some different ideas about what you can do to continue to innovate in your own business or in a particular market, or to create something brand spanking new. So if that sounds good to you guys, can just, again, I want you to type into the chat box. Also, if you're watching this and you are not on Facebook or you're on Facebook, please make sure that you click the link above. It says StreamYard. I want to see your lovely faces. I want to know who's speaking to me so that I can respond back to you. So if you could make sure that you do that for me, that would be wonderful. So the first thing I want to talk through, like I said, I'm going to 10 things. I always go fast. I know, I speak fast on these shows, but as you also know, I also give you a handout so that you can go back and re-listen to the show, but then also work your way through the worksheets that I give you so that you can actually implement things. What I don't want you guys to do is just come to the show, listen, and not take any action. The only way we make progress in life is actually by taking action on something. So today's show is very much to get you into the headspace of, okay, I've got an idea, but if you don't bring that idea to life, that's all it's ever going to be. You will die with that idea never brought to fruition. And I want to help you to bring your ideas to fruition. So the first thing I want to talk through is this. one of the ways that you can innovate in the market is you actually go and you have a look at what other people are doing. And we would call this modeling something that is already working. So modeling, very different to copying. You don't want to do that because then you're just jumping straight into what we would refer to as a big red ocean. It's already, it's already bloody and red. There's too many people in it. What you want to do is you want to look at that, what it is that somebody's doing, and then think about how can you innovate that and maybe apply it to another market. I'm going to give you an example of this. An example is if you do some research on Toyota. So the Toyota car company, they had one of their employees who actually worked on this thing called lean manufacturing. And what he did is that he put in a process, just lean manufacturing was what they were looking to do. And he put in this process called just-in-time manufacturing. And that came to be a process of like how you manufacture a product in like a production line. He then took that concept, and that concept then became known as Kanban, right? So Kanban boards. So now if you think about that innovation that they did inside of Toyota, then you've got other people looking at what was it that they did, how did they do it, and can that same process or system or product apply outside of Toyota? And of course it can. And what has then happened with that is now you're seeing Kanban boards are like a very common thing. If you go and look at Trello boards as an example, that whole process and their entire business is built around that concept. So they looked at what Toyota did in terms of how they put the production line together, how they went down the path of lean manufacturing. Then Trello's looked at it and said, well, that actually doesn't just apply to the car manufacturing business, because in fact, that car manufacturing business got it from somewhere else, which I believe was, I've got that written down somewhere, was like, I think it was like in the food industry. Is the meat packing industry, I think, is where they originally started that from. So you can see that over time, when you're looking at markets, you can take the concepts and you can apply them to other markets. So Trello took that concept of Kanban boards and they then created Trello. So I want you to look at all the different industries and think about the systems and the processes that they have in there, and how would that apply to another industry, because I can almost guarantee you if it applies in one, it is going to be a system and a process that could be applied elsewhere. Hi, Bernard, great to have you here. I'm seeing you guys all jump on. I'm seeing Vicky, Bernard, Karen, good morning to you all coming at you from Australia. So that's the first one, is like modeling an idea. You don't want to just jump in and totally copy it. You want to model it, see what's working, innovate it, and maybe apply that idea into a different market. Okay, the next thing I've got on this list, and this might sound super, super simple, but the next is like ask your customers. So if you've already got a business, or maybe you're working somewhere else and you're just thinking about like, what sort of questions are my customers asking me? And you then also going out to them and asking them, how could we do this better? So you'll notice that a lot of companies do this through their surveys. So if you ring any telecommunications company, probably all over the world, as soon as you finish a call now, they will say, hey, can you just hang around on the line for a few minutes to give us some feedback? What they're actually doing there is they've moved that innovation from internal with just their board of directors or their development team. Now they're asking their customers for information so that they can actually go away and implement what their customers want into their business. And that's a really smart way of doing it, because you get volume of information and feedback that you then can look at and go, well, we're getting a lot of this sort of comments from people. Now that would make sense that we actually apply that to our business. So that's the second thing, is typically asking your customers, asking your customers what they want. And they will usually some of the things that they'll come back to you with is like, they want it cheaper, they want it faster, they want it better, blah, blah, blah. But at least it gives you an opportunity to actually look at what your customers want and then be able to apply that concept to your own world and or to another business. And I'm going to come to that. So just hold that thought for a minute, because I'm going to talk about that, how you can take other people's feedback and complaints and actually use that to your advantage too. The third thing on the list is by observation. So the other thing that we want to do is we want to actually observe our customers. So you want to observe. And I want you guys to think about this from two perspectives. I'm talking to you guys as if you are business owners already. So I want you to put your hat on as, how do I apply these things that Tracy's talking about if I already own a business? But equally, if I don't have a business, but I would like one, the things that I'm talking to you about today, you can use to help you go and find things that you could create, how you innovate in an industry, and then how you validate the idea. So I want you to look at it from both of those perspectives. So the observation allows you to actually look at how your customers actually using your product. What do they currently do with it? A great example of this, if you think about Levi Strauss. So Levi's, they created jeans. And they've, had all sorts of, they've been around for God knows how long, decades, long time. And they would have started out with a very basic pair of jeans. And over the years, those jeans have changed, and they've changed because they've utilized they've to listen to what their customers are wanting, but equally they've watched what their customers were doing. So if you think about what they're doing now, is you've got the ripped jeans. So ripped jeans are very, maybe they were last year or the year before, but they're still in. People are, they come out with these jeans that are all ripped. And if you ask my father or my grandparents, they'd say, why are you wearing those things? How much did you pay for those rags? But, it goes without saying, they watched the market. They saw what their customers were doing. Their customers were ripping their jeans at home to make them a little bit hip and a little bit funky. So what did Levi Strauss do? They came out, thanks, Robin's telling me they've been around since 1873. I knew it was a long time. So you can see how they have innovated and they have transformed over, over centuries, a long time. And they've been around that long because they have done that. Innovation is one of the keys for long-term survival and sustainability and profitability. So just bear that in mind too, is watch what your customers do. Often when I'm, so with my company, when we're building out websites or we're doing any sort of funnel builds, often what I'll do is I'll give them to my kids or I'll give them to my husband and say, sit down here, and I'll stand back and I say nothing, and I want to watch how they actually interact with what I've built, because that will tell me whether or not I've put things in the right place, or have I put the buttons at the right place? Are they actually using what I have created in the way in which I've intended it to? And if they don't, that would indicate to me that I've got something not quite right and I need to go back to the drawing board or adapt what I'm doing to actually suit the way that they would use it. So that's another way, observe your customers. The next one, and this is what I was alluding to a little bit earlier, is like use difficulties and complaints as your best friend. You want to look at those and see, what are people complaining about? How can I innovate my product to make it better so that I have less complaints? And when you do that, that's where you see companies even coming out with like, version 2 or version 3. And you think about the mobile phone and how that has progressed and got more and more functionality to it over time. Now, I also mentioned earlier that what I was going to tell you about is another way that you can look at complaints and difficulties. So if you're looking for a way to enter into a new market, or you're looking for, I want to come up with a business idea, what you would want to do is go and have a look in like feedback forums. Go and have a look at the companies that are getting like negative feedback. When you get that negative feedback, you're going to start, pulling all of that together. This is where your research comes in. You start researching what's not working in a particular industry that you have a passion or an interest in. So, for example, if you like to, again, like if it was funnel building, for example, or web design. So what we do with my team is we're always looking for, if I've got a customer that says, hey, the product that we're using is too expensive, what do I need to do? I need to go and try and find some other things that are more affordable for them. So I can start looking at that sort of stuff. And also, if you're using products and services from a particular place, that also gives you an opportunity to create something. You use the model concept that I spoke about, but you're innovating that to make it better. right? So you can then go and fish in the ocean that that company has been in and pull customers out into your new, what we would call in this environment, we would call that a blue ocean. All right, so complaints is a great place to go and have a look at them, see what other people are saying, and then innovate your product based on the complaints that that people are giving the existing places. Okay, the next thing I've got on the list, which is number 5, which is like to combine a product. So think about, you might have two things, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. Like you might think about a suitcase. Back in the day, we used to have, a suitcase that you just carried. You had to, and if you're anything like me, when I first started traveling, I would travel with almost everything and, at the kitchen sink. I've got very good at that now and don't take that much, but you would have to carry around a big, heavy suitcase. So what's happened in the suitcase industry is they've then combined two products. What? A bag and a trolley. A bag and a trolley now makes a really useful and beneficial product, which is a new suitcase with wheels on it. So that's an example of how you can innovate something very simple but make it more practical. Thinking about, how could I make this better? What would work better? How do people travel and how do people use things today? Is there a possibility for me to combine a number of things to make something? And again, the mobile phone is another classic example of that. Started out as just a communication device. Now think about all the tools, all the ways that you use your mobile phone. Not only is it a mobile phone now, but it's also a really, really good camera. So the need for us to have cameras now, we don't really need them because they're all inbuilt into our phone. So think about, that's another way you can kind of think about innovating a product, combining them together to make something else and then bring that out into a new market and create your own market. Okay, number 6, and this sometimes is a little bit hard for people, but it's like elimination. Often we are, I suppose we're trained or we think that we've got to add more. More is better. Sometimes more is not better. Sometimes we have to look at things and actually eliminate our products. So when you're looking at your own business and you're looking at all the different products where you actually might eliminate something in your product suite, or by taking something away might make the product actually easier to use. So I'm just looking, I might have some examples here. What have I got? Yeah. To eliminate those things. So the example I've got here is like Amazon. So when Amazon came out, what did they do? They eliminated the need for you to have an actual bookstore. The same as Dell computers. They don't sell in a store. They sell all online. So that shift that we had, a decade or so ago from you having to go into a shop and purchase something to now I'm going to sell online, that was an innovation in the market. And there's loads and loads of opportunities right now for all of you guys as viewers to be looking at things and figuring out how can I innovate and then bring something new to the market. It actually makes the validation process a whole lot easier because you already know that whatever it is that you're doing with these 10 things that I'm talking about are things that people want or need. Do you see how that kind of we're collapsing the time frame here and collapsing a lot of the stress and hassle of you putting out a product in the hope that it will work because you've actually done a lot of research first and you're actually innovating inside of a market. Okay, I'm just going to check what people are saying. What have we got going on here? All right, so what have I got here? That's a great idea. Complaints give you a great option to get out there in the market. I've got my camera, just so you guys know, I'm trying to navigate my way around because I've got my camera right in front of my screen, so I can't actually see all the words as yet. But it takes some pressure off, Robin, you're right. And maybe something that we're precious about that my clients don't even care about. Spot on. Often we can't even see the wood for the trees. We think that what we've put out is really good. Why? Because we created it and we love our stuff. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes we actually have to listen to what our audience is saying and not be so precious or let our egos get in the road of us applying innovation into our businesses and into our lives. So the next one is, I talked about asking your external customers, but equally massive opportunity that you have to actually ask your team members, your staff. You want to challenge the people who actually work in your business to find better ways, faster ways of doing things with your customer at the heart of everything that you do. So in Metadigm, we talk about, we have a customer-centric mission statement that we talk about all the time. So when we're bringing out new things, we're putting new things onto this platform, we're trying to do that to make a better experience for our customers and help people to thrive in their businesses, their lives, and with their families. So that's why you'll see lots of new things coming onto this platform, and it's simply because of that, because we have a mentality and a mindset of innovation. So you got to remember that your team members are often the people who are closest to the action. And as your business grows, as your enterprise grows, and you as the CEO, you have to start to step away from the coalface, so to speak. So you need to have your eyes and ears become your team members. So super important that you empower them to have a mindset of innovation and allow them to think about new ways to make your product and your service better. Equally, you could also ask other people's staff members, like when they're working for someone else and stuff's not working so well, or you've got family members that come home and complain about their business and complain about the place that they work. You should be going, ding, 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 that's an opportunity for me. Could I innovate that? Could I do it better? Is there an opportunity here? So today's show is all about getting you guys, I want you to open up your mind, and this is about opportunity, what exists, and then in another show, I will start talking to you. We'll talk about, how do you eliminate some stuff that, how do you determine which one of the ideas you should actually follow? Okay, number 8 is collaboration. So another great way to be able to innovate in a market, create a new business opportunity for yourself, is to collaborate with other people. So you want to collaborate with other people who have, this has been my experience, all right? And I'm sharing this with you today because it's super important. This piece can either go really, really well, or it can go terribly wrong in terms of collaboration and business partners. The one thing that I have found that makes a really good partnership is when your values align. If you can find somebody else that you can innovate with, that you can collaborate with, the one thing I would encourage you to do right from the get-go is to make sure that the number one thing is that you align from a values point of view. I've seen many partnerships unwind because they're not on the same page and their values don't align. So that would be the only, I suppose, thing I would say to be careful when you're putting together a collaboration. But if you get that piece right, boy, a collaboration can really take you and your business and your ideas to the next level. So you want to look at somebody who's got the right sort of values, but then also complementary skills. So complementary skills, so not in the sense of they do exactly the same as you. You want people who are different. You want diversification with the people that you work with. So super important there. Number 9. So number 9 is having a plan. So what I mean by plan is you want to have, like in your business plan, you want to have innovation built into that. You want to have targets for you to meet, to develop new products, new systems, new processes. And again, I can go deeper into this, but generally, with any business that I'm working in, we look at 5 key things. We're looking at how do we get leads? How do we nurture that? How do we nurture the customer? How do we convert? How do we deliver? Then how do we upsell, resell, and keep that customer long term? So you want to make sure that you've got a plan, and the way that you plan for that and keep that customer long term is that you've got development happening that encourages the customer to actually stay with you. All right. Yes, Karen, it is definitely, you need to have a plan, and collaboration, make sure that your values do align. Absolutely. So number 10, so we're getting to 10:24 right now, and I'm on track to have this done by like half an hour. So the 10th thing is ask. So this is not ask somebody else. This is about asking yourself. So we talked, one of the things was ask external customers. The next one was ask your staff. Now you want to ask yourself. So the mentality you always want to have as an entrepreneur and a business owner is you want to always be thinking laterally, right? So you're thinking both vertically and horizontally with your business development. So you're thinking about how can I make my products better? How can I innovate? How can I come up with a new idea? What are my customers asking for? If I've already given them this, what might they need next? So this applies to any type of business. Even, if you're talking about the service business. So if you think about the service business, even, and I'll give you mine as an example. So my example is that if I were developing websites for people, what might they want next? Well, now they might want a funnel. They might want a done for you service. They might want a done with you service, so on and so forth. So you're actually developing new and innovative things within your own business. So those were the 10 things, which brings me to share with you who today's sponsor is. So let me just pull up this, because I've got this fancy thing that enables me to put their website and stuff at the bottom. So today's show sponsor that I'm hugely grateful for is a company called Usability. And what Usability is a brand new innovative web and funnel design application. It's going to allow you to create your funnels and your websites all in the one place, which to me, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing in terms of usability. Hence the name, and also being able to create funnels and websites all in the one place, plus having a full e-commerce site and a whole raft of other things. So I would encourage you to go and have a look at that. I've got a special deal for you guys, so you're going to get 10% discount. So if you head on over to usability.com, you're going to use the code UNLOCKED, and that's going to give you a 10% discount on their business and their growth plus plans. That will be valid for Unlocked members or viewers until the 13th of June. So I would encourage you to go over there. There is a 14-day free trial. So I'd encourage you to get on the platform, have a bit of a play with it. The reason I've put that in there today is because that's going to help you to develop and get your business to the market fast. All right, so that's why I've gone, I've put that's perfect for today's show. So this is about you learning some stuff and then going away and implementing really quick, and that's going to help you to do that. So thank you very much to Usability. Go and check them out. Great new platform that I think you're going to love. So I'm just going to recap on all of the things, the 10 things that I talked about today. And like I said, as always, there will be a downloadable document and a worksheet for you to utilize to help you to innovate and expand your thinking and your ideas. So I will make sure that is in the file section later on this afternoon, so make sure you check that out. So here are the 10 things. So number 1 was model an idea that's already working. Number 2 is to ask your customers. Number 3 is to observe your customers, making sure that you do that. Number 4 is use difficult complaints, whether it's in difficulties and complaints, whether it's in your business or you go check out some other people's complaints that they're getting. Combine, so combining 2 products together to create something new. Then you're going to use the process of elimination. You are going to eliminate something. You're going to look at a product and go, well, that whatever it is that's on that product is of no use. So let's eliminate it and make it more streamlined, faster, stronger, better. And then 7 is to ask your staff members, what could you do to make whatever it is that you're creating better, or how could you innovate? 8 is to collaborate with somebody else, another company, another person. 9 is to plan. Make sure that you have innovation embedded into everything that you do. And then number 10 totally comes right back to us, and it's to have that mentality of innovation, that we're always thinking about how can we do things better? How can I improve this level of service? So those are the 10 things. The reason that I wanted to cover all of these off is because it does also help you to validate your idea fast. So what you're then going to do, I'm going to wrap this up with how you're going to do the validation. You're going to look at all of those, clearly you're going to plan them out, and there's a lot more to this. But the next piece is to actually take it to the market in like a beta mode. So in a test format, so that you can test the water, test your product, test it with a beta group of people, and determine whether or not those people would, not just that do they like it and are they going to give you feedback, but would those people actually put their hand in their pocket and pay you money for what you have just developed. So that is how you're going to 10 ways that you can innovate in a market, or even innovate in your own market, in your own business, and then how you can take what you've got, your new idea, and validate that really quickly to a market, and then get yourself up and running. And you can get yourself up and running online with the guys over at Usability. So that is today's show. It always is like a blah, 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 trying to go real quick, but we managed to get there. That is 10 things. And it's been my pleasure again to share those 10 things with you today. I hope that's been useful. As always, after the show, we are available inside of our Facebook group, Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life. You can ask questions. Encourage you to ask questions underneath the show. And if you're watching this on a replay, please let me know that you're watching it on a replay by doing the hashtag replay. I will be back on the same channel next in 2 days' time, which will be my Friday, your Thursday if you're watching in America. So Friday in New Zealand and Australia, Thursday in America, and it will be 10 a.m. So I look forward to seeing your smiling faces again on the Unlocked Show. Thank you, and have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys all again. Whoa, I've got 1,000 comments coming in too. So thank you all for your comments. I know I'm not very good at like pulling them all up on the screen, but I will get better. I'll innovate. Talk to you soon. Bye.